In this video, I will show you how to import tasks into the SDB program. In the previous video, we did exporting of databases, subject, section, and tasks. And we zipped it into a folder that was called impex. So now I have sent this impex to another server. And at the moment, I have just created a folder on my desktop that is called SDB, and the zipped file I have put inside this folder. So the first thing I need to do is to unzip it. So I will unzip it to the same location. And now when I open it, I will see all the files that I have received. So these files need to be copied into this server in the correct location, which, as we talked about in the previous video, is this folder. So I mark all of them, I copy into the impex folder, and I paste. So now the files are in the correct location. That means when I start to import, I will have them available as options to import. So back to the SDB. Here you have the scanned files on this server as well, and now the impex folder is ready to start import. When you do import export, the first thing you have to do is to click the amendments button. You get the tools up here. So first of all, we want to import a subject. Okay, so this is a new subject, so there are no classes in this one. Normally you will have a long list of subject. So what you have to do is to mark one of the subjects on your list, or if you have no one of the databases on your list, and if you have no databases, you mark this there is no classes available. Then you click the import. As soon as you click the import, you will get a list over databases available in the impex folder. And this is the one that we exported from the other server. So this is the one we want to import. You have some additional settings down here that is for advanced. Normally just keep it as default. If you have an older version of the SDB, you might not even have these ones. So at the moment, I'm ready. I have marked I want to import this database. So I click OK. Then the SDB said, oh, hold on, where am I going to save the files for this one? If it is a new database, you normally need to make a new folder inside the SDB scan folder. So I will create a new folder and I will just call it Malawi test. Okay, so this is where I want to import this is where I want to store the files that I'm importing. So I can browse to that folder. I go to this PC, go to the D drive, I go to the SDB scan, and I get the Malawi test that I have just created here, and I say OK. Then I say OK. Then it's asking, OK, where do you want the notes directory? And notes is files only visible for the teacher. Again, as we talked about before, I just have one folder of notes for the whole SDB. So that will be this folder. So I browse this PC, D drive, SDB scan, and notes. So now I have decided where the reading file should go and where the notes should go. So I click OK. Sometimes you do get an error up like this. That's normally if you use the database without a password, but you only have a user. You can ignore this one by just clicking OK. Then it will say import is finished. And now you can see I have the database available here. So now this is a new server. I get all the subjects, get all the sections, I get all the tasks, I click task, I go to files, I click on the directives, and it opens. So I have successfully imported a complete new database. What happens if you're only, you can also see here that now when I click edit on this one, you can see that the scan directory is here. And if I open it, you can see the file has been imported successfully. Next example. What happens if I'm only going to import a subject? Well, in this case, for demonstration, I will create a new database so I can import only a subject. So I make a new database. It's called import subject. And every time you make another subject database, you do need to make a folder for the scanned files. So I will make one that is called subject test. Okay. So I browse to this folder. Subject test. The notes directory I also have to put. Notes, okay, and okay. So in this situation, I'm going to try to import a subject into this database. So by doing that, you click on the arrow before the subject. You will here normally get a list of a subject already on the system. So all you have to do is to highlight the level. First time you create a subject, it wants you to create a one from 0. But if you say cancel that, it will highlight it. Okay? So as long as this level is highlighted, you can import a subject. So I'll do import. And as you see now, only from all the things we exported before, only the level subject is visible. And it says here, import this into the database called DNS Malawi. And of course, due to the demonstration, I will import it into a different subject because I already have it in this one. So again, I say OK. And this time I will not be asked for a scan directory because it already knows the scan directory for this database that is import subject. It already knows it. So I click OK. I get a normal error, import finished. And now I have installed the whole subject 1. And it has the 2 modules, and you click in, you go to file, and it works. And if you go into the scanned folder, you will see the file is here as well. So far, so good. So now I'm going to import only a section. So again, I will make another database that is blank. So I will call it import section. And the scan file, you can in principle put it in the same folder, but for good order sense, it's good to make a separate folder for each of the databases. So I will just call this section test. Okay, so I browse to this folder. Section test and the note directory as always. Notes. And click OK. I can put it ready. I forgot that in the previous example, but ready means that it's available for the student straight away. Okay, so now I'm going to import section. And when you have nothing it comes up, click here to add a subject. So now I'm going to import a section. So first of all, I need to create the subject, and the subject was called Social Studies. And let's say it's 10 hours, and it's ready. Now I have one subject, and now I can add a section. So I click here to add another section, and as I don't want to create a new one, I can just say cancel, and it's already marked. I then do import, and now I will only see sections on the available export files, and it tells me exactly what to do with them. So I click OK. It comes with this warning. Normally it doesn't, but if it comes, you just say OK, and the import has been successful. And in this situation, I already have imported this section. So the same way you do when you import a task. So instead of making a whole new database for that, I will go into my current tasks. I will delete this task. So I only have one task left. In this situation, I want to import the task only. So I go into the database, I go into the subject, I open the section, I get a list of tasks, I mark one of the tasks, or if I have no tasks, so then I just keep this open. If there's no tasks in it, you can just hit straight away on import, and it will show you the name of the task. Keep everything as default, and it comes with the same warning, and the task has now been imported. So that's how you do the import-export in SDB. Sometimes if you have a lot of files here in your impacts and the instructions are not clear, you don't know if you have received a database, a subject, a section, or a task. So how do you find out this? Well, when the files are in impacts, you can just mark this database and you say edit. Sorry, you mark this and then you say import. If anything comes up, then you know that some of this is actually a database. So this is a database. If you want to know if you have got any sections, you can mark a section and you say import. And if something comes up, it means that some of these files are actually section. So in this way, you can easily note down what you have got in your impacts folder by clicking through each of the levels, import, and read the description that has been written, what it is. So this is how you import into the SDB program, and I hope this was useful.